Okay, guys, where are we? What are we doing? What are we doing actually?
Homeschool.
Who chose this today?
Rika.
And why are we going?
Because
That was fun.
Yeah, but why though? What did you do early today?
our work.
We finished school early. Okay, off you go then. Find the entrance.
Who's been here?
Mom, you really should have brought your stuff.
Honey, you're my golden star. You get to make my wish come true.
This is what the problem that you have as a home educator when you have children with different personality traits.
Huh?
One of them loves to sing.
No,
and
I
the
don't.
other
I
one
hate to sing.
loves
I
quiet.
hate to sing.
What'd you do?
Loves what?
Quiet.
Oh yeah, I need to practice my drums.
I know what you do. You put this one in the adoption system.
She slapped me. She slapped
Oh,
me.
that's not very nice.
Yeah, that's not nice.
What are you doing now?
Myself first.
Was you scoring?
Yeah, this page.
Okay. And how'd you get on with your self-test?
They're all right.
Okay, so tell me 5 things that you've learnt so far on your pace today. Or 5 facts you can tell me about money or measurements. You've got to look at me
I
now.
know a fact that I know about money. No, metric.
Go on then.
I hate it.
Okay.
That's a good fact.
Why though?
It's just, I don't think it's 100% necessary.
Of course it's necessary. The reason why I wouldn't say necessary to you right now is because you don't do any kind of measurements.
Yeah, but
What do you think Granddad needs when he made this schoolhouse, classroom, whatever? What do you think he needed to use to make it?
wood, cement.
Do you think he had to measure it? Look at the symmetrical angles. Look,
or
all
he
of
could have
this
just made mistakes.
is measured. Everything is measured. Measurements are so important. What did you learn? Come over here and tell me 5 facts, straight to the point.
Part of the English measurement system, we use to measure liquids. We measure it in cups, gallons, liters, milliliters. No, but that's
Yeah.
not in there.
Okay, that's one fact. A second fact.
The way we weigh things in the English measurement system, there's tons and pounds, and that's all. In America, they use 25-cent coins, which is kind of weird.
I guess it's quite good because it gets you to compare from the British system with money and the American system. So it just kind of helps you to see the different values of money in different countries or currencies. Okay, that's 3 facts. That's fine. You finished? You gonna have a break?
Mhm.
You gonna keep going?
Yeah.
What have you got to do now?
I've only got to do English, creative writing, word building, social studies, science, and reading books and writing my book.
Okay, are you gonna write your book today as well? Ooh. What's your next one that you're gonna work on then?
English.
Okay, so what are you learning about English?
Shall I read my goals then? My English goals: to review cursive writing, to review vowel and consonant sounds, to learn to use a dictionary, to learn about synonyms, antonyms, homonyms and heteronyms, to learn about the complete subject and complete predicate, to learn about the simple subject and simple predicate, to learn to do all things with Jesus' help to be confident.
Scripture?
Oh, that's easy.
Go on then.
Dun, 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 dun. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
What scripture is that? Where's it from?
Philippians.
Philipp-
Something.
Is it 4:13? Good. Can I see your
I've
handwriting?
got Philippians.
Let's have a look at your handwriting. Looking good. You've done quite a bit already. Okay. Cool,
Yeah, I'm
cool.
near the end of the book.
Okay, hi. Welcome, guys. While the children are doing their learning, supposed to be doing their learning,
I'm doing my
I'm having a
learning.
little break.
yeah, while the children are doing their learning, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about our decision to home educate. So basically, home education is just another route of teaching your children things about the world, basically, and all the different subject areas. I believe quite very strongly that parents are the first educators of their children, and you have the choice of whether you send your children to public school, mainstream school, private school, Montessori, whatever educational philosophy it is that you want to follow. I believe that parents are the ones who have that first choice for that. Some of those choices may come back to working in the home with your children and home educating your children. So everyone has a different reason for doing that. Even amongst the Christian community, there's many people within the Christian community that do not believe that children should be home educated. They believe that children should be in a school so that they can spread their light whilst in a school. For me, obviously my children did go to school. My youngest was in year 1. She was around 5, 6 when I took her out. My middle child, he was in year 2, about 6, 7 when I took him out. And my oldest child was in year 5, so 9, 10 when I took him out. So my children have been in school and have been that light, as they say. But I feel like children can't necessarily be the light if they don't know much about what it is that they're being the light for, because children still need to be ministered to as well as adults do anyway. But for me, there were so much issues going on at the time of my oldest child. I'm not going to go into those details just for confidentiality reasons, and just lots of issues going on with my oldest child at the time. And I also believe with all of that going on then, I was maybe 4 years into my faith at the time, and I believe that my journey to home educate was a calling from God. I know that I was called for it. I had visions about it. There was doors being closed and doors being opened at the time. I'm also very against evolution, and as a primary school teacher, there was loads of situations that I had come into where I had to teach evolution to children within the school. Obviously, that's the method that parents have chosen for their children, so I would teach what I'm supposed to teach. So on the curriculum, it will say things like, for the science curriculum, it will say, we're going to learn about humans, including animals. And that's like a simple statement. Some people will feel like, okay, so what? That's not a big deal. But for me, that was a big deal. I was saying, why can't we just put the objective down as humans and animals, because humans and animals are different. They're both created by God, both created on day 6 by God, but they're still different. And I had a big conviction about this, and it was really hard for me to talk to many people about that conviction, but it was there, and I didn't really know why it was so strong for me. But I will still teach it. Obviously, being in the school, you teach whatever it is on the curriculum, but I was definitely in conflict with that. And then I think it was 2013, around April or May 2013, it just dropped in my spirit. The night before, I'd been thinking about home education. I was talking to a member of my church, a lady that has like 6 children, or maybe 4 at the time. She had been home educating her children, and I noticed the way that her children were different. I noticed the way that she just was very different, and I was noticing her quite a lot and thinking like, oh, what is it that they do? And I remember after speaking to her, I really loved the idea of teaching my children at home and spending more time with them. At this point in my journey, I was single parent of my 3 children. I was working full time. So that means I'd leave in the home about 6:30. No, we was waking up about 5:30 in the morning, leaving the house about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'd get them to the childminders for 7:30, who would drop them to school in time for. I'd drop them to school. After school, they'd go to the childminder some days during the week, and other days they'd go to after school club. So really and truly, I wasn't really seeing my children until about 6 o'clock. So from 7:30 of dropping them off till 6 o'clock, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, was the amount of time I was away from my children. I've been doing this for a very, very long time. I was a single parent from being pregnant with my daughter. So the whole way through studying for university, I always had that pull of knowing that I've had these children, but I can't really spend time looking after them. So that had been going on for years. And I think it just hit a point at the end when my oldest boy was still struggling with it. So by May 2013, I knew in my heart that I was just going to home educate. So normally around May 31st in the UK, if you're working in a mainstream school, you have to either hand your notice in at that point, or you have to commit to another term or another year within the school. And I wasn't sure what to do. Well, I was sure. I was sure I wanted to home educate, but I didn't know what my next angle would be after coming home with the children. So I spoke to the head teacher and told her that, you know what, I'm not going to renew my contract for the next year. And she was like, okay. She was, you know, a bit sad for me to go, because she had plans already for the following year, but I had resigned within that time frame, so that means I don't have to work until July, and then from September onwards I would no longer be a teacher. So this decision, I was earning around 34,000 a year at the point here, and I knew that even giving up this job, I had nowhere to go next, but I knew in my heart that, yeah, I'm going to home educate these children. So she was saying to me, okay, so what should we put in the newsletter for the parents? How are we going to let them know what you're moving on to next? I was like, I have no idea. I literally had no idea what I was doing. But July came and I left. I gave it all up and I took my children out of school. My oldest boy was so happy. I remember before he was taken out of school, he kept begging me, saying, "Mummy, can you homeschool me? I want to be homeschooled. I want to stay home." And I was like, "Okay, look, you just have to try and get through school for 2 months. We're going to see how this goes." And you know, he was literally just didn't want to go to school at all. When I took him out of school, I remember he just became so happy. He was making me cups of tea every day and just saying, "Thank you, Mummy, for homeschooling me. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Anyway, cut a long story short, we decided to home educate. So my decision to home educate was based on the emotional level of my oldest child, and also my conviction about home education and the fact that I've been called to home educate. If you want to know more about my story, then yeah, I'm happy to tell you a bit more about that. I'm just going to read a few notes here that I got from my handbook of the curriculum that we use. And they're saying things, it's just saying that home educating is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. The end is the faithful discharge of a God-given responsibility to give our children a Christian upbringing and a Christian education. An education based on the conviction that Christianity is the truth. I believe in this completely. The end is the faithful discharge of our God-given responsibility to give our children a Christian upbringing and a Christian education. And education, oh, I just read that. Rewind. It is a matter of obedience to biblical teaching and commands. Home education, using ACE, which is curriculum that we use, is just a means to this end, but is not the sum total of our Christian obedience. So just giving you like little key points about what home education is. We must remember that biblical commands and teaching regarding education are not the only biblical commands and teaching. I believe in that completely. It doesn't mean just because you home educate your children that everything's going to be fine. There's still so many character qualities and so many issues that will come up within life. We're still living in the same world that everybody else is living in. So it doesn't mean that just because you're home educating your children, they're going to become perfect individuals. No, that's not the case at all. There's lots of issues that we still have to deal with within the home as well. You finished?
Yeah.
Good. We are not excused. We are not excused to rest because we happen to home educate our children using a Christian curriculum. I believe in this again. It is a basic and fundamental to giving our children a Christian education at home that the parents maintain their own Christian life to as high a standard as possible. We still need support and fellowship. We do. We definitely need support and fellowship amongst other Christian families, not even just Christian families, other home educating families. Like for us, we do a lot of things within the local church, but my children still attend other groups where it's not just Christians. So we attend a swimming group, and that's quite, maybe like 70% of the parents there are Islamic, and those Islamic parents, they still have the same reason that we have, in the sense of wanting to home educate their children for their own reasons. So my children, you know, we socialise with people from different faiths and different community groups as well. That's once a week on a Monday. We haven't really been back for a little while now, but that's like just an example of a group that we've attended where the children there are also home educators, but they're not necessarily Christian. We used to attend a group in Kew Gardens with other homeschoolers and a community of people called unschoolers. Similar principle, but they don't really use a actual they don't really use a curriculum. They teach in a different way. You can search on YouTube to find a bit more about unschooling. So my children have been involved in different community groups like that as well. I run a home education group locally once a month as well. Yeah, slow down, he says, because exclaim, like I said, I do talk fast. I run a home education group as well once a month for children. Christian families that use the same curriculum can come together to learn about the curriculum, learn about the curriculum and just work together with each other as well. There's another group called Teach Your Own. It's a black community group. So it's all people from the black community that come together. There's so many different faiths amongst the community group with the Black Conscious movement and just different things going on there as well. But, we're a part of that as well. And, it's fun. I just have so much fun. We've travelled far. We've travelled up to Brixton, South London. We've travelled to different places. My children have taken part in like horse riding lessons. There's like basketball. There's like tennis. There's so much things you can do. You just have to be very careful with organising it and thinking about how much money you want to spend on those extracurricular activities. But yeah, so in answer to the question, my reason to home educate was based on my faith, based on my oldest child, and based on a call from God. My daughter's saying that I speak too fast. I do speak very fast. This is just how I've been made up. This is who I am. I don't know how to change it. I'm trying. You know, it's weird because I say to people, yeah, I'm a teacher, and then they look at me like, yeah, but you talk so fast. How do you teach your children learn anything? But they do. Okay, let me try and slow it down. Another question that I get asked quite a lot is, what are the benefits and pitfalls of home education? What do you think, guys?
That much more.
Is that too slow now?
Yes.
All right. So
like
not
a normal person.
Not in any particular order, but I think some of the. Hey, I'm talking.
Yeah,
Let's start there again. So basically, what are the benefits and pitfalls of home education?
Lord have me.
The Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made.
That's not shuffling, you know.
No, I still don't get why you
Do a little beat to start us off.
Okay, hold on. 'Cause you are a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.
You're a good, good father. That's who you are. That's who you are. That's who you are. And I'm loved by you. That's who I am. That's who I am. That's who I am. You're a good, good father in all your ways. You're a good, good father.
So I'll do my thing. Okay, you do it. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. The love by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.